Hey everyone, this is Matt. Welcome back to my channel, Blind to Billionaire. What is it like to get married to someone when you don't even know what they look like? That's a very interesting question, which I'm going to answer for you in just a minute. So what is it like to get married to someone when you don't actually know what they look like? If you've been following my channel or listening to any of my videos for any length of time, you know that I lost my vision because I have retinitis pigmentosa. So when I was about 26 until present, so roughly the last 7 or so years, I'm 33 currently, so roughly the last 7 years or so, I would say my vision is about the same. It hasn't changed, it hasn't declined a whole lot. So I have light perception currently, but I'm not able to recognize faces anymore. Um, so that's about the extent of my vision loss currently, and that's been, like I said, about the last 7 years. So from the age of about 27 until 30, it was really interesting meeting people. As I mentioned in a couple of my other videos, I was on some dating websites, and so I was meeting different people or talking to different people, and it was an interesting experience because as you probably know, most of the time when the initial attraction between two people is the physical attraction. So when you see somebody online or you see somebody in public or something like that, typically what draws you to a person initially is their physical appearance. Maybe it's their body, maybe it's the way their face looks, maybe it's their eyes, maybe it's their smile. It doesn't really matter. It's just something typically physically about that person which is what makes you attracted to them. And then from there, once you maybe engage with that person and get to know them a little bit more, their personality will grow on you, and then you start to gain more attraction for that person through their personality and everything else that you're learning about them other than just physically. So it was really interesting between the ages, like I said, of 26 and 30, because when I would talk to people online, people that I was potentially interested in, and when I mean interested, that was just basically whatever I read on their profile. So I would read about their profile and I would think, okay, this person shares a lot of the same interests as me, and they're, according to their credentials as far as the specifics about the person, maybe like their height, their body type, their hair color, as what was listed on their profile. I thought, okay, this person sounds like, roughly what I'm looking for. So as I got to know people, I would think, okay, this personality is congruent with me, and they have a lot of the same interests and passions as I do. So I was able to weed out people that way. Or there was some people that I would think, it's interesting, we share a lot of the same interests, and then maybe we would meet or talk on the phone, and then it was like, okay, we're not compatible in any way. So I got married a little over a year ago, and we met about 3.5 years ago. So the same situation happened with her. When we first started talking, I read through her profile, and we met online, obviously. And when I read through her profile, she mentioned a lot of the same things that I love to do. She loves to travel. She loves to spend time at a beach. She loves being outside in the summer, spending time at a pool, working out, learning, listening to audiobooks. Just we had a lot of really great things in common. And I thought, this is someone that I'd like to get to know. And, at the time, I didn't explain the extent of my vision loss. So, I didn't really want to dump that on her all at the same time, but I thought progressively I would just integrate that into our conversations. And if we enjoyed spending time together and we wanted to continue getting to know each other more, I would, sprinkle in a little bit more each time. My vision's maybe not as good as you think it is. So, I did that. And so when we were talking, we decided, okay, let's plan a date. So we ended up getting together, and it was a really nice time. We got to know each other. We had a really fun time. We actually went to the beach because it's something we'd love to do, and it was summer here at the time when we met, and we went to the beach, and it was just a really fun time together. And like I said, I didn't really tell her the extent of my vision, but I was getting to know her as a person, her personality, which was really nice, and we had so much in common. And then after after the first date, maybe it was before the second one or something like that, we were talking on the phone, and I said, I feel a little bit embarrassed to say this, or I don't know how to approach this, but I'm just going to say it how it is. And I said, I actually don't know what you look like. Can you explain to me what you look like? Because I just didn't know how else to approach it. And she said, oh yeah, and she explained, well, I'm 5'3", I have brown hair, I have blue eyes, I have, an athletic body type, and I'm, X weight. And I actually won't share her weight because, that's kind of personal, and she probably would be pretty mad if I said her weight to the whole world. But anyway, it was just interesting because, when you actually can't see someone, it's like, well, give me something to work with. And I wasn't asking for all the details, but it helped me out to kind of build this image of what she possibly would look like. So I still currently don't know what she looks like, other than what she has explained. But other than what she explained, also I've also asked a few people who I really trust. Like I've asked my parents, I've asked my brother, and this was way back shortly after we met. And I would ask, what does she look like? And everybody was giving me consistently the same answers as what she did. So yeah, so that's just a really interesting perspective from going through the progression of meeting someone online and getting to know them through just some words on their profile, and then building some attraction through conversation, through interests, through different passions that we share, and not necessarily a physical attraction initially anyway, because that wasn't the case for me. So one other thing that we've talked about, which has been a concern of mine, and it's not a surprise for her, but it's been a concern of mine that we've talked about, which was, so now that I have this image of her in my mind of, okay, brown hair, blue eyes, 5'3", and I thought, so I have this picture, but I think what I found with other people is when I picture someone's face, what I think they look like, I'm usually not that accurate as far as when I describe like the image that I have in my mind of what someone looks like. I'm usually not spot on for what their face actually looks like. And the conversations we've had is, what if someday in the future there happens to be a cure for retinitis pigmentosa, and I do get my vision back, and what if I don't find her attractive? So it sounds like a really harsh thing to say, but it's actually a realistic conversation that we've had a few times, and it's a little bit scary to think about. So I entered into the marriage knowing what she looks like on paper, but not actually knowing what she looks like in real life. And like I said, we've talked about it a few times. What if there's a day that I actually can see her and I just don't feel physically attracted to her? I don't know. Again, that sounds really, really mean and really harsh, but it's something that she has brought up and we've talked about extensively quite a bit. And, I don't know. Anyway, it's just a really interesting perspective. So that is my take on marrying someone who I don't know. But even though I don't see what she looks like, we still have a ton of fun together. We both love to travel. We both love spending time at the beach. And even though I don't actually see her and appreciate her for her physical appearance, I still appreciate her for her personality and her caring, loving personality that she shares with me, and the fact that we do share so many different passions and interests, which actually makes it really fun. So anyway, if you haven't done so already, I'd really appreciate if you subscribe to my channel. It's a fairly new channel, and I'm just trying to build subscribers, gain more viewers, and just get my face and my message in front of more people. So again, if you haven't done so already, I'd really appreciate if you subscribe. Otherwise, hit the like button and share your comments or questions down below, and I'd actually do personally respond to all of the comments and questions that people leave on my videos. So again, thanks again for watching, and I will see you again tomorrow. Thank you.